Hello everybody, it's me, Ratchet, and this is a bit of a different video, but I thought since I haven't really said much about this trailer, I thought I'd do a little bit of just an overview and see what we got. So, yeah, there's the infobot. That's everybody knows it from the first game. Captured on PS5, mix of gameplay. Okay. It's not really much here. Oh wait, no, there's something. So Clank, for some reason, has his limbs off. How that happens, probably from dimensional travel, I'd guess, but yeah, that's my prediction. I don't really remember this eel from any Ratchet and Clank game, but, it seems like some new kind of enemy they're adding, and I actually like it. It looks like a pretty cool thing. And yeah, the rest of this is mostly just, like, hit with him, or a lot of the real meat mainly comes from this city level and the second part where they show off Sargasso. Once we get to a certain point, I'm going to slow it down because there are some menu things that I really want to show off because some of them are interesting and some things I really wanted to see in Rift Apart that I would never think Insomniac would even do. But yeah, so, we got here Ratchet starting off. My only little complaint is, let's see. So you see that little thing here? How out of nowhere does like just a random poster of female Lombax just come right into Ratchet's hand? Like, that is way too coincidental, Insomniac. But moving on, that's mainly a nitpick. Still doesn't really make much sense. Another thing I like to note is I like the how transparent the gameplay is from the movie, because normally when a Ratchet cutscene ends, right? Like right here, let me show this off. So normally when a Ratchet cutscene ends, right, it will have like some kind of pause or a black screen before you go back. This is a cutscene, right? This is a cutscene. Watch how it seamlessly transforms into gameplay. That almost feels like nothing. It's so good. I really like that. And obviously they have the location set as question mark because they don't know. That thing over there, I think, is something from All for One. I feel like I've seen it before, but I really can't remember at the moment. I hear people complaining about the bolts being at the bottom over here, but I honestly don't mind that. It's pretty good. I like that. It might take a little getting used to, but it's pretty neat. Obviously, the graphics are really good because, PS5 games, so you pretty much expect that from it. I think I'll skim past a little bit because there's not really much here. Now, just to showcase the... Wait, hold on. Yeah, so you got, like, wanted Lombax and shit over here. A few wanted posters. I think one of them is the one Ratchet picked up. But yeah, no. Going to here, this part right here you're about to see is really going to show how good the PS5 graphics are. Like, look at this. This is some really good scenery right here. Good on Insomniac for that, honestly, because it looks so good, and I hope to see that utilized in other planets. Not going to hate it if it's not, but that'd be really neat. Another thing that they're kind of bringing back is using the hover boots as kind of a hover mechanic, because usually, um, aside from maybe a crack in time and full frontal assault, if there's a hover boot or charge boots, you wouldn't really use that to float down. It's kind of cool to see it come back in this game because, now that Ratchet is clankless, he does need his hover boots to hover down and everything. And here's the weirdest part of the thing. So, normally your vendors like Megacorp or Gadgetron or GrumbleNet. In this game, it's Mrs. Zircon, who was one of the weapons in the series before, with Mr. Zircon and Zircon Jr. and everything. But yeah, I guess in alternate universe, Mrs. Zircon is not a weapon. She just so happens to sell the weapons. I didn't really mind her character too much from what I've seen because she doesn't say Mrs. Zircon all the time, like she did in the other game she was in. So at least they're not overusing it too much. And over here you got, Ratchet seeing Clank, and Clank's limbs are still dismembered, so I'm assuming that the female Lombax is taking him to her workshop or something to fix it. But that's just my game theory. Let's skim through here, because there's not really much to note here, except for, very pretty graphics. Here you're about to see the Raritanium, though. It's not super different from the way it usually functions. It just has like a weird box thing. Oh, one thing, though. Why is this box floating? Insomniac. Get your shit together. Make sure it's not floating, you motherfucker. But yeah, I saw that. Everybody did. Also, biggest pet peeve, why did he not break the boxes? That would have been really nice. Yeah, one thing I do gotta say is the music in this is really good. I know you guys can't hear it right now because I'm not really showing the audio, but the music in this game is really good from what they've showed off. Because the person who made the Jack soundtrack is doing this. Look at this. Ratchet's walking into the club. This looks very epic. Then there. Wait, hold on. See, right there, we got a view of new Nefarious, or alternate Nefarious. It seems to have three nipples over there. It's pretty epic. Yeah, Club Nefarious. Now, they mentioned this shadow person. Obviously, they don't want you to see them because they skip that whole part, but later in this trailer, you'll see that it kind of got leaked who it was, and it's pretty obvious once you find out. I'll just say he's a shadow who's a dude, and we'll get on with that. So, mentioning this, since we're at this part now, I really like the acrobatic gameplay that they showed off in this trailer. It looks so fluid, and probably one of the greatest things they added in this, aside from, non-same weapons. Because, like, it's so fluid, because you can basically time your moves together and chain them together. It's really good. And right here, they're about to show off the combat, which I'll be discussing because some of that agility and parkour type mechanics that they added will be utilized in the combat from what you're about to see. It is so good. So I really like the fact that the dash and the dash side to side and everything is utilized in this because that feels really satisfying to do. It's kind of like the thruster pack when you're boosting forward, in my opinion. And right here, they're talking about how the weapons are used with the different controller feedback. So, like, if you're, slightly holding out your controller for the pistol, it'll shoot out very precise but slow shots. And, if you're holding the thing down all the way, it will just go pew, 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 pew. And for the shotgun, if you shoot it down just a little bit on the button, it'll do like one shot. If you go all the way, it'll do two burst shots. So your usage of the weapons actually are affected based on how hard or how far you push the button down, which it's kind of weird because you'd think that'd be something people would do already. Like it doesn't seem like something super hard to program, but better late than never, I'd say. It's not really much else to talk about here, so I'm gonna skim to the next section. Yeah, so here they're gonna show off a boss. There we go, some of the more wall jump type mechanics. Now, from what I've seen in the boss, it seems pretty standard, compared to most bosses. It's the big robot you have to shoot. But once we get further on, you'll kind of see what I mean. Let me skim to the part, which is really nice. Not that part, but that is a really cool dash that this Nefarious Juggernaut did. And there's the boss hut up there. It looks really nice. It's kind of got like a purplish pink look, which I think is the color scheme this game's going for. It's very purple looking. But yeah, they literally transferred Ratchet all the way to a whole different level. That's right. Because that last level like that he was in was the Nefarious area. I think this is Sargasso? Or maybe not. It's some kind of foresty looking planet. But this whole level got loaded within 2 seconds. Nothing you can ever do on PS4. So that is wild. The only thing I'm kind of concerned about is I saw that like little alien bug thing or whatever it is from Nebula G34. I don't like that they're reusing certain enemies. It's not the end of the world, but it would be cool if they utilize their own sort of enemies rather than being all samey. Here's the Rivet gameplay now. And let me just say, before we continue on, this viewpoint. I know Insomniac is usually really good with these, but like this viewpoint is so beautiful. You got like the sun rays out here. It looks so good. It's not ray tracing, but like you can see the shadows and the lighting and everything. It's almost realistic, but not because it's more Pixar-y. It's getting very close to that point now. In terms of game graphics. There you go, you can see the little flying bugs from the teaser trailer of the game. It's kind of funny to think that it's almost been a year since they announced this game, because it does not feel like that. It still feels very new to me that Rift Apart is a thing, even. And then right here, you can see the little alien guy eating up the food. That is an attention to detail. Like, they had attention to detail in tools, but it's cool to see that they're kind of like living in an environment, and they almost feel like living creatures, like the way they interact with different things. Now, once we get to the vendor, we'll find out something epic here. So basically, Ratchet and Rivet are linked. So if Ratchet buys a weapon, it also belongs to Rivet, which I'm happy about. That kind of puts a little bit of concern I had over it out. Like, any doubts I had is kind of lowered, because I didn't want there to be like different weapons they both had to buy. I want to keep my leveling and my bolt count the same when I'm playing through the game, so I don't have to redo something. But right here, if we skim up just a little bit, you'll be able to see the topiary sprinkler, which, from what they said in the trailer, you'll be able to feel the impact from it. I really like that it basically just turns enemies into bushes, because that's basically its whole theme. And obviously you could tell it's the turret weapon because it doesn't destroy them, but it at least takes them out enough for you to shoot them. Yeah. Oh, those ammo crates look kind of weird though. I like them, but they're a bit different, definitely. And also, I would like to say I like the purple and yellow HUD. Purple and yellow go together pretty well, funny enough. Is that yellow? Or is that like more orangish yellow? I can't tell. But yeah, right here we're about to see a pocket dimension. So a pocket dimension, from what I've seen, kind of reminds me of the moons in A Crack in Time, because they're supposed to be little mini sections that you go to just to do a little bit. Ooh. Yeah, it's just like a thing you go to just a little bit, and yeah, there's not really much to it, but it seems like it'll be kind of like the A Crack in Time moons, where you're just exploring it to probably get a gold bolt or some kind of collectible that the game has that we don't know about. If you skim past here a little bit, you'll see some of the Speedle gameplay. This has been shown off in trailers before, but not really farther than that. The Speedle looks really cool to control. I don't know if they're gonna do it, but honestly, I would not be too mad if they had race courses where you race with the Speedles, because it kind of seems like it would work with that. Once they get a little further on, they're gonna start speeding up with this. Should be like, yep. Wait, it's about to happen. Okay, here we go. That's when they're about to do it right here. So I don't know if like it automatically sped up like that, or if she was pressing like a speed up button, but that's really cool. This part kind of reminds me of when you're following the rings in Sargasso and Tools of Destruction. Very nice throwback. Hopefully they don't repeat a ton of stuff, though, because I do want some differentiation between my Ratchet and Clank stuff. Alright, so right here they're now going to show some of the combat. Wait, hold on. Hold on, guys, hold on. Hold on. I'm waiting. Come on. You guys will see. Hold on there now. Hate that face, but I love it at the same time. It's so horrible yet great. Now here we're again going to see some more combat, but this time with the new Lombax character. She really doesn't play all that different from Ratchet, though. So just thought it'd be a little note. The Shatter Bomb does not seem to be different from your standard grenade. It looks cool, but I can't tell if it's like its own thing. Cause like when they first showed off the Shatter Bomb, I really assumed it was like kind of like shardy, like like I saw like little grass pellets falling when it got shot. But now, like looking at it here, it kind of seems like it's a big ball of electric that's being shot out. Possibly could be like based off that. I could see the Mr. Fun Guy that I didn't really mention. Who Mr. Fun Guy, I'm assuming is going to be this game's Mr. Zircon, basically just like a floating weapon that helps you. I saw the description of it as well, that it is supposed to also be a distraction weapon, so possibly a mix of the Groovatron and Mr. Zircon at the same time. This weapon looks really cool. It kind of reminds me of the Alpha Disruptor from Tools of Destruction, because it's got that same sort of like laser kind of thing. Alright, so right here, I'm going to slow it down because this is where they're going to show off a bunch of things at once, and I really want to talk about some of this, so... First things first. This is probably going to be a lot of the video, ironically enough. So, hover boots. They're talking about Ratchet hover booting in an open world. I really like that. Like, this area right here kind of looks like that same forest planet where Ratchet got sucked into. I don't mind the way the hover boots look, and I like this open environment. I don't know, like, if the open environments are mainly going to be for, like, crystal hunting or anything, but it kind of gives off that vibe that that's what they mean by, like, open environment. So with it slowed down, you can get a little good view of where Ratchet is. Oh, the water graphics there look really nice. Makes me remember the quest for Booty Water, which I remember looking really good at the time. Right here, they show off a Clank segment. It seems like it's kind of like the Gadgetbots, where they're going into like these little disintegration things, but with Clanks now. So it might be a mix of the Clank clone puzzles and the Gadgetbot puzzles we're used to seeing in other games. Yeah. Yeah, it kind of seems like that, because they're walking into it like Gadgetbots would normally do in a section like that. This one looks really interesting, so it seems to be like, I don't know, some kind of, like arena? It might be part of the arena, or it's just some kind of extra mission where you're riding a tank. The tank kind of reminds me of oh, what is that tank from? It's the one from Deadlock, the Landstalker. It reminds me a lot of that. And then next we got the arenas. That looks like an enemy from 2016. Guys, why do you keep repeating enemies? I don't like that. There's Mr. Fun Guy doing his fun thing. He doesn't seem to be shooting enemies, so maybe it's more so that he's a distraction weapon for enemies to focus on. Air combat. I'll be happy to see that again. I know they usually have it, and, you know, it shouldn't be a surprise that it's a thing, but it's interesting to see, like, that they're riding, like, alien beasts as well to show off the ship combat. So at some points it might not even just be, like, regular ships. Gold bolt collecting that they say. That was already kind of expected, so I don't know why they had to announce that. It's cool to see the new gold bolt animation, though. Yeah, he's so excited. And then this is where they mention pocket dimensions. We can kind of skim past this a little bit. Now, photo mode, that's a thing that they have. Basically, you can just add a bunch of stuff to it and take photos. It's kind of like what they had in the Spider-Man game that came out a few years ago, which is also made by Insomniac. So I'm not too surprised they added that. All right. So, gameplay. Let's go back. Yeah, no, we're definitely going back. We got to see some of this. Whoa, that was way too fast. Alright, so waypoint display on press. HUD colors, so emphasis text color, A mark color, target color. So it'd be really cool to be able to edit the HUD colors again. These are stuff I'm really happy to see. Some of these settings I don't really want to mess with because there's so many things they added to this that make it different. But it's nice because it's playable to a lot of people, not just Ratchet fans, which is really nice. Anyways, though, I think that's going to be about it. I just wanted to give a little preview of the game and what I thought of it so far from the trailer, and let me just say, I'm hyped. If you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to do all the stuff that the YouTubers say. I don't care. Feel free to do whatever. But yeah, I'll probably have another review out in the next couple of days, so feel free to check that out. Anyways, I'll see you guys in my next video, and I'm out. Peace.